Alistair, what's up, brother? Let's go. That's right, Alistair. Now remember, what's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind sports talk. Check it out. Jon Jones and Colby Covington. What's the deal? Can they rekindle that friendship? Colby says some real foul stuff. John might not be going for it, but the UFC does need two mega stars or at least one mega star. They don't have a household name anymore. McGregor's gone. Rousey is gone. Those were really their two biggest stars. Rousey's traded in for the WWE, which I don't blame her because you make more money in the WWE and it's not real fighting. Smart move by Rousey. Conor McGregor, he's on to business. I don't blame him. Why would you come back to the UFC for $2 and $3 million fights when you're sitting on 50, 60 million? Can't blame him for that. One thing for sure, the UFC needs that big megastar again. Okay? And my idea was this. A lot of people were disgusted with Jon Jones because of the picograms or whatever. And then you had Colby Covington's making a lot of noise. You combine these two personalities and these two guys, and look, you could create something. Dana White could sell that. He could market that. Maybe Jon Jones and Colby Covington should get together and think about squashing that beef and take the UFC by storm. Is it possible? You guys think they can rekindle that college friendship and, make something happen in the UFC or not? But Alistair, great comment, great comments, bro. I know you have a lot to say about this. It seems like Alistair 4-9 guys is taking over the UFC mastermind debates. Alistair needs some competition. Step it up, guys. Come give Alistair some competition. He's blowing everybody away. Great job, Alistair. But I would say that Dana White had opportunities, I believe, to create stars. Like he's the only song and dance in the UFC. You don't have it like in boxing. You have Heyman and Floyd and Oscar and DeBella and Finkel and Aaron and Eddie Hearns and so forth. You just have Dana White in the UFC. He's the guy. He's the promoter, and I believe he had a chance with. I believe he had a huge chance with Demetrius Johnson, but he basically didn't do much with that. He didn't promote. I mean, Demetrius Johnson was a beast. Now, in the end, Cujo took him out, and then Dana White sent him over to one. So, but they need another star. I do believe that Dana White wanted Chris Cyborg to be that next star, because she was bruising and a lot of people knew who she was, but then she got knocked out cold by Amanda Nunes. Now, the Chris Cyborg saga's over. There will be no rematch. Chris Cyborg has signed with Bellator. And now matter of fact, let me say this. I read an article saying that Chris Cyborg has signed with Bellator. Her UFC contract was up, and she decided to go with Bellator. Now, if that's true, the UFC is still in need of that big star. You need that big star to bring attention to the UFC. A lot of people like Nate Diaz. He says things that Dana White tells him not to say. He tells Dana White, F him, his brother, they don't bow down to Dana White like a lot of these guys do, and people like that. So Colby Covington's been making a lot of noise, and Jon Jones is Jon Jones. Even though he had the incidents with the PEDs and such, people still like Jon Jones. They still go for Jon Jones. And with Colby Covington and him joining forces instead of this, I guess, so-called beef they got going on, they could really create something big in the UFC. They could bring a lot of fans over to the excuse me, guys, over to the UFC, and I think that maybe they should try to do that. But you know, guys, it's not about what I think; it's about what you think. I don't decide to stance on this channel. You decide to stance on this channel. So drop 150 words or less, telling us why they will become friends again or why they won't. It's just that simple. Make sure you put in relevant facts. That's how you score points. Alistair knows very well how to get that done. Ain't that right, Alistair? But yeah, guys, you can also send in an audio recording to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk at gmail.com. 30 seconds or less. But the UFC is very exciting right now. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of good talent. They've been throwing on. Dana White, I must say, always throws on really good cards. I've not seen a UFC card. I don't know. I can't even remember when I watched the UFC card and just thought to myself, that wasn't really all that. I think all of the UFC, 214, 13, 12, 10. I mean, I've been impressed by all of them. It's all good fights. And the UFC is full of competitors, guys that actually have that desire, that dedication, that drive. We don't have as much of that in boxing. And so that's why I'm such a huge fan of the UFC. And then, you can say what you want about Dana White not paying people the way. And, some of that might be true. Maybe he's not paying people the way he should. But one thing you can say about Dana White is he giving us hellified great fights. And that's what's important. At the end of the day, that's what's important. We're getting great fights in the UFC. But they still need that big name. Boxing has Wilder and Errol Spence and Canelo, AJ, especially if he wins these belts back, Lomachenko. I mean, there's names that people, a lot of people know Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, and they didn't even watch boxing. We don't have that in the UFC right now. Conor McGregor was that. A lot of people knew about McGregor. And this before the Floyd Mayweather fight. That's his star power, and the way he built that is what caused the Floyd Mayweather fight to be so successful. And then, of course, with Joe Rogan and his ridiculousness with Ronda Rousey, everyone knew about Ronda Rousey. Joe Rogan went so overboard with Ronda Rousey. The greatest athlete ever, and she might be able to take Floyd, and all of the stupidness that, the greatest athlete on the planet, the best the UFC have ever seen. Joe Rogan said all of that ridiculousness about Ronda Rousey, which he boosted her star power up. And a lot of people knew about Ronda Rousey. She did movies with Sylvester Stallone and such. So, guys, who's going to be that next star? Could Colby Covington and Jon Jones fill that gap together? I think they could. I think that they can make a whole storyline out of this because Colby Covington is going to get gold. And for a lot of people that don't think he is, you better think again. Colby Covington is going to get a belt. The guy's nice. Jon Jones has had a belt pretty much since he's been competing. So these guys could be that it factor. Sometimes the fans like the bad boys. Floyd Mayweather was a bad boy. Sometimes that's what the fans like. Tyson Fury's a bad boy. My guy. So what do you guys think? Colby Covington and Jon Jones rekindle this or no? 150 words or less. You can send in an audio recording of 30 seconds or less to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Hit that subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when I drop these videos. And for the love of sports, let's talk about it. Hey, Alistair, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Next topic, my friend. I appreciate you coming through. Peace.